All right, welcome back to the shop, everyone. Welcome to the two-stroke turbo channel. We don't always work on turbo two-stroke cars. In fact, we rarely work on two-stroke cars, but we do have them around, and we do work on them from time to time. You can see it's dark outside. If you look past the little van here out in the parking lot, it's time to go home. It's 5:15. And this van has been the epitome of my day. However, it seems like it's worked out okay. If you look at my shop, everything's in disarray. There's wiring, there's toolboxes open, there's parts spread out. This has been the focus of my last 24 hours. And if you notice, this little Chinese clone of a Suzuki van, the dash is completely out. Completely out. I mean, you couldn't make more of a wiring mess, and this thing's been frustrating me to no end. Let me give you a little backstory, shall we? You can see there's no dash in it. About a year ago, I was driving home from the Home Depot, and the thing shut off, and I was like, oh no. I pulled over to the side of the road, gave it a minute, started right up. Hasn't had a problem since, until last night. Going around a corner, going to the movie theater to pick up my 12-year-old daughter and her little girlfriend, it shut off and immediately restarted. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then on the way home with the two girls in the back with the dog, it shut off and it would not restart. And I cranked on it until the battery went dead. Couldn't use the four-way flashers. It was dark and cold. Had to call my wife. Brought a new battery and a tow rope. Couldn't get it started. Had to tow it to the shop. Still couldn't get started. Couldn't get started all day today. Traced out everything. You know, this is a Chinese clone of a Suzuki Super Carry. There is no wiring diagram. There's no knowledge on these things at all. It's got a Dungan engine, 4-cylinder, 797 cc's. It's only particular to this car. This is a left-hand drive car. Oh, who's coming in here? Oh, we have a guest appearance, everyone. It's Stella, the super dog. She's wanting to go home. She knows that it's dark outside. Squirrels have gone to bed for the night, and she wants to ride in her van, but it's just a mess. Dash is in the back seat, as I was saying. So I diagnosed this thing as having no power to the coil. It seems like it's pretty simple, right? Well, it's a distributorless ignition system. That is the coil. You can see the red, blue, yellow, and white wires, secondary leads that go to the spark plugs. No power getting to the coil. And I thought, well, maybe I screwed something up. Maybe the plug is bad. I had been unplugging the plug to the coil when I let the car sit on the street overnight because I don't want it to get stolen. Thought maybe I messed it up. Nope, that wasn't it. So then, what did I do? Pulled out the dash. Found out that half the dash cluster had been in a fire at one point in time. You see that charcoal singe there? Somebody did something to it. So I soldered on that pink wire there so I could get my check engine light to work. This is a OBD1 car. It has fuel injection and a distributorless ignition system. I don't know whose make or model. It has a fuel injection computer up under the dash right about there. You can see it says Delphi on it. You can see that. I pulled the computer out. I opened it up, looked inside, see if there's any burnt circuits. I have fuel. I have compression. Had no spark. So I could hear the fuel injectors clicking. The engine was flooded. I know where the fuel injection relay is. It's down here. I tested it. The fuel injectors worked fine. No spark. It's like, what? Spent the day tracing the wires from the coil up under the car, up into the dash, and into the fuse panel, which is right here. Wiggled the fuse, and all of a sudden, one of the lights came on the dash, the battery light. And I was like, well, that's strange. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I turned the key on. This battery light all of a sudden popped on. And I was like, well, what's up with that? So I started taking apart the harnesses, found a burnt wire within a harness. This is the one I repaired right here with this blue connector on it that had just overheated. It was in one of these gang plugs. That then allows the engine to start. Unbelievable. Watch this. See if I can get to do it. Fires right up. It took me 8 hours, but I fixed my dash. I got my check engine light, my gas gauge working, and I'm assuming I got the temperature gauge working, which never worked before. So that's really nice. It just took a long time and a lot of frustration, and I had to stop 3 times and take a walk because I was so frustrated. Turned out that inside that gang plug right there, there was a burnt connection, and that was difficult to find. So it goes to show you, if you pull enough wires and you check enough stuff and you have confidence in yourself, you can fix it. I don't recommend that anybody else does this, but what a mess. So I'm going home. It's been a long day, but we got the van fixed, and that's what matters. Charge the battery. Oh, and I also put new fuses on the, I thought maybe I blew one of the master fuses, so I put some 50 amp fuses on the power supply to the computer. Oh, just a crazy amount of work. Went through and pulled out the crankshaft position sensor, which it reads off the flywheel right here. Checked all the connections, checked everything. Took a long time. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'm tired of working on this thing. Thanks for hearing me bellow about a Chinese wired clone of a Suzuki Every, which is not common here in the United States. I'm so happy. I'm so satisfied that I fixed it, but it was a basic, simple thing that was just hidden and took me, I'm assuming, 8 hours to find. And I hope now that it doesn't strand me on the road. Thanks for watching. Try not to get stranded, folks. It's no fun.